Well, thank you so much, Joanne, for joining us. We're
My
so excited to
pleasure.
have you back on our community day. And Joanne Lazzaro has played all over the US, including LA, New York, Chicago, and around the world. Australia, Belgium, Chile, France, Germany, Italy, Monaco, and the Netherlands. And she shared the stage with artists as varied as CeCe Winans, James Galway, Billy Childs, and played for the Prince of Monaco. Wow. She performed with the Hour of Power Orchestra from 1990 to 2001. And currently you are the principal flute for the Beach City Symphony Orchestra. And you also perform with LA Flute Orchestra and the Pipe Dreams, in addition to ad hoc appearances in many Southern California orchestras. So we're so excited to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here. I was just playing in New York City last week at Lincoln Center, and it was really great to see, the New York City venues open again. It was really exciting.
Wow.
All right, so do we have people here? Are we ready to go?
We are ready to go.
Okay, and so I know this is a sort of a holiday themed concert, and a lot of times what I do around this time of year is I play stuff more oriented sort of around winter and the winter solstice, but also I have arrangements of just about every Christmas carol in existence. So Tina, if people, have particular favorite Christmas carols that they would like to request, if they, text you in the chat or whatever, you can let me know if there's any requests, and I can sort through my set list and play some.
Great.
Okay, some of you will recognize this. This is a Native American flute. For those of you who have not seen this instrument before, these are this is sort of a modern version of a more traditional flute. You can see that beautiful woodworking. And a lot of people like to play Christmas carols, especially on Native American flute, Irish whistle. So they sound completely different that way than played on a classical instrument. Although I will bring out my classical flute for this concert too, because it's Christmas time. So here's I Wonder as I Wander. Thank you. It's quiet. I think everyone is muted. That was I Wonder as I Wander. And I'll just go through and find a few things that I really like. So I have this beautiful Irish flute made by Windward Flutes up in Nova Scotia. And there are a lot of Irish songs that have to do with winter. And one of my favorites is called The Month of January, because January is my birthday. So Month of January on Irish flute. The month of January. Let's see. Let's go. Since we're talking about the winter. So this is a French folk tune called "'Twas in the Moon of Wintertime." And I figured, I think the last time I played, I did all world flutes, and I didn't bring out my classical flute at all. So I have some really beautiful arrangements for classical flute. So this is my classical orchestra flute.
Wow.
And it's almost too powerful to play in my living room because it's designed to fill a concert hall. But this is a really beautiful arrangement of "'Twas in the Moon of Wintertime," and it was arranged by a flute player named Judy Nishimura.
That's beautiful.
It is. That's one of the most beautiful French carols. I really love it. And you don't really hear that one very much. I was really glad she found that tune and included it in her collection.
Right.
So,
There's one,
uh-huh.
somebody wants you to play Oh Holy Night. They sent me a request. I'm not sure if you can do
Let's
that.
see. Hang on. Hang on. I know I have it here somewhere. Here we go. All right. This. Okay. All right. Yes, I have it. So how very, they must have been reading my mind because this is another arrangement by Judy Nishimura. So this is a version of a whole bit. There you go. A very extravagant arrangement of Oh Holy Night. I hope you liked it.
Beautiful.
Any other particular requests? If not, I will go through. Here's one. I have to pick my favorite flute for playing this. This is a really nice flute. This is made out of Thai rosewood. And with Native American flutes, every different kind of wood and every different maker has a different kind of voice. And some flutes play sort of very traditional sounding things, and other flutes are designed to be able to play contemporary music or music that's European in origin. And so this flute is very nicely designed for this. So I'm going to play Greensleeves, also known with the alternate set of words, What Child Is This? The song goes really beautifully on Native American flute. I really like it. Let's see, some other things I have. Let's see.
Diane said, God bless you, merry gentlemen.
Yes, I have that. There we go.
And I think Jane has her hand raised. Jane, do you have a question?
I have a question.
Sure.
I noticed on especially the first two flutes that you played, but especially the first one, at the end of some of the passages, there was like a little vibrato where you're going up and down very rapidly. And I wondered if that part of the technique of playing on those particular flutes, or is...
Yes, that's on the Irish flute, and I can play that. Let me just see.
So would it only be used on certain types of flutes and not on others?
So what you were looking at, were you noticing that I did it with my hands?
Yes.
Really fast? Yeah, so that is on Irish flute, Irish whistle, and on a very older style of Baroque classical flute. In those days, you did vibrato instead of doing it with your breath the way modern wind players play, and one of the ways that shakuhachi or bansuri players play. You would make vibrato by tapping your finger over an open hole, and that was the way that it was done. So stylistically, there are all different ways of modifying the sound. And on Irish flute in particular, if you want to play it in the traditional style, you use your fingers rather than breath.
Mm-hmm. Now, is the one you called your classical flute, the metal one, is that different from a regular flute? It looked longer to me?
I think it looks longer because of the angle of the camera. Makes everything, see how my hands look really like I look like a giant? But it's a standard size flute. It's just the camera angle, it gets wider if you go out. Makes it look like it's like 5 feet long.
It does. It does look like.
Let me grab another flute that I like.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, God rest you, merry gentlemen. Okay. This Native American flute is made out of a wood called Osage orange, which is a domestic American hardwood. And it's called Osage orange because it gets orange flowers on it. It is not related to a citrus tree. And you can see there's like a big gash in the middle of it that's been filled. This is a wood a tree that grows a lot in the Midwest, and the wood's very hard, and it's used for fence posts and also for planted along fields as windbreaks. And so this flute used to be a fence post, and it was recycled into a flute.
That was beautiful, Joanne.
Thank you.
Hey, Joanne, while you're playing, I think there's a little bit of a vocal issue with the speaker. It seems to be coming in and out sometimes.
I do not know why that is happening. Let me look and see if I have any settings. Hang on, I'm looking. Oh, here we go. All right, let's see if that fixes it. I updated my my Zoom app. I wonder if one of my settings was changed. So I think I just fixed the setting. So hopefully it's good
Okay,
now.
great. Thank you.
Okay. Any other requests that have come up? Otherwise, I will keep looking. There we go. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is a pretty one. Okay. I'll break out one of my pretty flutes. So this
That's a nice looking flute.
is a double flute. And what I will have it set to, sharper D, huh? Let's try this then. Check my settings here. Okay. So this is a full double flute, and it's set up so that you can harmonize with yourself, and you run out of fingers really quickly. So basically you have to pick one note for the harmony flute, which I just did. I set it for this song. And this is a very modern invention, although it is the idea of taking a wooden Native American flute and making it a double chambered flute was actually borrowed from South American flute making, where double chambered flutes were very popular. They were just usually smaller, so that you could play each flute with one hand. So they never had more than more holes on each side than you could cover with one hand. So American flute makers here took that idea from the ceramic flutes and they extended it out into full-length wooden flutes, and that gives you, some interesting harmony opportunities that you don't have with a single flute. So this is Silent Night.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's a lot of fun to work with the double flutes. So let me find some of the.
So Joanne, before you go on to the next one, how do we find your music? How do the audience want to, if they want to find out more about your music, do they look you up, or is there a website? Are you on YouTube?
So you can look me up everywhere.
Uh-huh.
The website is www.cocopele.la. The answer to that question is yes, it's harder to play. It takes more air. And you have to remember what to do with your hands if you start switching flutes. www.cocopelli, KOKOPELLI.LA. I'm also on YouTube. I have a channel under my name, Joanne Lazzaro. I am on all streaming services except Sirius. So you can find me there. Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, the whole everything. Tidal and Amazon MP3, pretty much everywhere. I also have a Bandcamp account now, and I use Bandcamp now to sell CDs and LPs. In fact, I should grab one. The reason I was in New York was I was playing a song from this album.
Wow.
Lincoln Center. So this is Sweet Esmeralda for flute and piano. And this is like a classical jazz crossover album. And it was the short version of the long story is this piece was written for me as a gift, a graduation gift from college back in 1983. And, I had no way of getting it recorded at that time, and certainly not released as an album. But now that I have my own record label, Joe Razzle Music, I contacted the composer again and I said, now, 30 years later, I'm ready to record the album. So this was my pandemic project. I recorded this album and I
Wow.
released it on vinyl because it's kind of modeled after the Claude Bolling suites for flute and jazz piano that were really popular back in the late 70s and early 80s. So if this had come out in 1982 or 1983 at the same time that the Claude Bolling suites were coming out, it would have been released as a vinyl LP. So that's what I did. And it came out really beautifully. And so I'm selling the vinyl albums on Bandcamp. So you can, if you go to bandcamp.com and then search under my name, you'll find my new artist account, and the vinyl LP is there. And eventually all my other music will be there too. I'm going to upload all of the high resolution CD quality audio files there. So if you don't want to have just MP3, you'll be able to download high resolution files there as well. But this is already up at Bandcamp.
Great. I just put the link for everybody.
Oh, thank you. So let me find, what was I just looking for? Oh, here we go. Let's get out. Okay. So a lot of people really like hearing Irish whistles and Celtic instruments at Christmas time, and I'm not quite sure why there's such an affinity between Celtic music and Christmas time and the Irish instruments, but they're exceptionally cheerful. I know with Native American flute, sometimes it's the sort of the more melancholy sort of carols that sit well on the Native American flute, but all of the bright, happy ones work really well on the Irish whistle. And this is an actual Irish whistle that I ordered from Ireland, from McNeila Music. And this is in the key of B flat. And this is an old English tune, which you'll recognize, called I Saw Three Ships on Christmas Day. very cheerful little instruments. Let's see. I think I'm going to get out yet another flute that I have not played yet today. All right, perfect. So, the story behind this flute, which looks really big in the picture, but it's actually kind of small. So, I started taking flute lessons when I was 10, and I started on classical flute. But I was always really fascinated by all the other kinds of flutes that were in the world, bamboo flutes, wooden flutes, ceramic flutes, clay flutes, glass flutes, any kind of flute. And so when my relatives would go traveling, they would bring back like little souvenir flutes. And some of them were just, like toys, but some of them were really good instruments. And then when I got a little older, I would go to places and county fairs and stuff, and people would have all these homemade flutes. And at some county fair I was at, I picked up this ceramic flute. It's got some little Asian character on it, kind of scribbled on it, and I have no idea what it means or what it says. And it's kind of this beautiful bluish, blue jade color. And it turned out to be like a really beautifully made and beautifully tuned flute. And I've actually used it in concerts to take the place of classical flute when it was supposed to be a bansuri or some other kind of non-classical flute. And so it also, because it's so nicely made and nicely tuned, it also works well on things like Christmas carols. So this is O Little Town of Bethlehem.
Beautiful.
This is one of my favorite vintage flutes. I think this flute was made in the 70s, 1970s. And I've managed to keep hold of it all these years without breaking it because it's ceramic. It's hard to believe how well made and how well in tune this flute is, because if you know anything about ceramic flutes, I learned this from Durian Songbird at Songbird Ocarina. He says when you make the flute out of clay, it's one size, and after you fire it, the clay shrinks, and the instrument is at a completely different pitch level than it was when the first time you made it. So in order to make a flute that turns out to be a particular pitch, a particular key, you have to experiment many times with what size to make the raw flute so that when it's fired, it shrinks down to the right size to be the exact pitch that you want. So over the years, I've learned to appreciate how hard it was for this person to design this flute and make it so well. It's a really beautiful flute. And I don't even know who the maker was. They didn't sign it.
Wow. What history.
Do I have time for like one more tune?
Yes, yes, you have time for one more.
All right. Let's do, okay. I'll bring out one of my other super unusual flutes. So this is another one. This is another kind of harmony flute. There's 3 flutes here, main flute in the middle, drone on the end, and another harmony flute on the side. And the person who asked about, is it hard to play a double flute? If you have a triple flute, it's 3 times as hard. Got to use all 3 at the end.
Wow, thank you so much, Joanne. This is beautiful.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. Thank you. We so appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry the sound was bad, and at the beginning I forgot that I had updated the app and my settings. One of my default settings had changed, so I had to go in and fix that. But for next time, I'll remember to check that beforehand.
Big hand to Joanne, and everybody got the links. I just went to Bandcamp and got a record, so thank you.
Oh, thank you. I saw a notification come up. Thank you so much.
No, my husband loves vinyl records, and so I'm going to get it for him.
All right. Excellent.
Thank you. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy holidays.
Have a very happy holiday.